So now in this class, what we are going to perform. The first thing is, in the last class we have used the get method, and today we are going to use the post method to get the data from front end and perform some operation. Okay, and next we are going to use one particular one more concept. Like for example, you have multiple pages are there, and just assume you want to display same content on multiple pages. Just assume there is a menu is there. So menu should be available in the all the pages remains same only, and footer also will be the same in all the pages. So here what we do, we create a common file, okay, which is going to be extended to the all the remaining files. Okay, so there will be a concept called extend a common file with your project. Okay, now once it is done, okay, then we are going to add uh, some dynamic mode data related to the classes, okay, and then we are going to create an object. Okay, so then we'll do one thing, we'll create class and object, and storing and accessing the data. Also we are going to display the data in front end. Okay, these three things we are going to do. So first we'll go with the post method. So in the last class what we have done, we have created, okay, where we have the views file, this is the views file. Okay, so now you can see here this is the result function. In the result function we have used the get method. So now in this class what we are doing, we instead of using the get method we are going to use the post method. Okay, and whenever you're using the post method, two things you have to note down. So first of all you have to go to your pages. Okay, so this is your page. Okay, index.html, and here, okay, whatever the form you have created, here you have to mention the method equals to post. Okay, and whenever you are mentioning the post method, okay, so mostly like what is the difference between the get and post, first we'll understand. Okay, whenever you use the get method, that particular information will be displayed in the URL, but sometime you don't want to display that information in the URL. Example, okay, so here by default it is a get method only. Okay, now let me just run the previous project and we'll see like what is happening. Let me run this.
Sir, screen is
Yeah, it's visible.
I just rejoined.
No, it's visible. It is visible. I can check in my mobile. Okay, so in the last class you can see here, if I enter any number, something like 12 and something 11, and if I click on the add, now you can see here this number 1 and number 2 is displaying in the URL. So is it correct? Like if you're, like for example, someone is, just assume someone want to log in something, someone is creating the account, and these particular login and password details are displaying in the URL. So it is wrong, right? So whenever you're passing any data in the form, it should not be visible, right? Because it's a sensitive data. You don't want to share that real data. So Here you have to protect your data. So for that purpose, here whenever you are taking any information through that particular form or using the input, we have to use the method equals to post. So here you have to use the post method. And whenever you are mentioning the post method, here you have for security purpose, we have to use the one command called CSRF token. So this is called middleware. This is a security purpose. This is inbuilt in the Django. Okay, so you have to mention this CSRF token. So once you mention this CSRF token, okay, CSRF token. So here that particular data is not going to be displayed in the URL file. So it will be protected. So now let me save this, and here in the views also you have to change the request. Instead of get, you have to use the post. Now you can see here, just make it as a post and everything remains same only. So save this views.py file and also save this HTML file, and let me just run this. And now you can see here, okay, so here we are getting one error related to the CSRF token. Okay, so what actually it is showing, see, invalid block tags on line number 17. Okay, so did you forget to register or load this particular tag? Okay, so let me check CSRF token. Let me refresh. Okay, now it is working. So this is actually, we have to mention the underscore. Okay, so I just removed that underscore. That's why it was not working. Okay, now it is working perfectly. Now if I'm entering any particular something number 12 and 10, and once I click on the add, now I can see here, we are not getting any particular data. But if I'm mentioning the get, here it is showing that particular data in the URL. But now you can see it is secure. So that's why whenever you're taking the data through the input, you have to mention the post. Got it, guys? So let me copy this code in your documentation. Okay, so here this is your HTML file content, and let me move this, and this will be your views.py code. So same thing how we have done in the get, only just you have to change, instead of get you have to write the post. That's it, everything remains same. Now next is the extend a common file with your project. For example, just assume I want to create one HTML file where I want to create one menu and footer, and that is going to remain same for all this particular pages. And just assume I want to create one background color, and that background color should be same for my entire project. So whenever you want a common things that is required for entire project, you can create a separate page. So here I'm creating one separate page. Just assume here I'm giving this name as a just assume common dot or style dot something. Okay, you can give any name. Let me give this style dot html. Okay, so now here I created with the style dot html. So now once you create this particular style dot html, the first of all what you have to do, you have to, you can add any particular content. Okay, let's assume, let me just first write the block html5 now. Okay, so here whatever the information you want to add, that should be inside of that particular block only. So here you have to mention one command called block content. Okay, and then again you have to write here where you want to end that particular block. So here I'm writing end of block. Okay, and whatever the content is there, okay, that particular content, whatever the content you want to display as a header and footer. For example, just here I'm writing one h1, and that here I'm going to write header area. Okay, and let me just add one hr something, and here I'll write color equals to something red. and here I'll write size equals to something 4 pixel. Okay, and same particular line I want to add after this content, and here I'm going to add one more heading, and here I'll write some footer area. Okay, and here I want to give some background color also, so I'll just write bg color equals to something light blue. Okay, and now I want to extend this particular file with my all particular files. So simply what I have to do, I have to write here in the index.html in first. Okay, so from where you want to start, in the top of the page, you can mention here. Okay, and here you can mention extend or extends. Okay, let me check. Okay, first we write extends, and here I'm going to add which page I want to extend with this. So here I want to extend this style.html. Okay, and now here I'm going to add the, so here the block, whatever the content will be there, so this will be the starting point and this will be the ending point, and middle part the page information where you have extended that particular page. So here in this between that I want to display index data, index.html data in between that. So here where you want to start, there you have to mention again block content, and where you want to end, so here I'm going to end my content. So here I'll write end block. Now let me save this and just refresh this. Okay, so let me copy paste. Okay, so now you can see here it is showing me that header area and footer area and background color is light navy. Now if I'm doing any changes in the style, just assume here instead of header, if I write something like menu, and now let me save this file, and if I refresh, now you can see here it is showing the menu area. And again I want the same particular into the uh, okay, so here color is spelling a mistake, that's why color is not displaying. Okay, now here we'll get the red color. So now same thing I want into the result page also. So just go to the result page. So where is the result page? Okay, so this is the result page, and here just you have to extend that particular page. So same thing here I'm going to write extends, and which page you want to extend, you want to extend the style.html, and what content you want to display, just you have to mention block content. Okay, and close this, and till where you want to display, it is the last part. Here till here I want to display the information. So now end of block. Now let me save this, and now you can see if I refresh this result page, now let me continue, and now you can see here in the result page also it will displaying the same content. If I do again any changes on the style, for example, this particular alignment I want in the center, so if I just write align equals to center, and here also I want to add align equals to center, and now let me save this and just refresh. Now let me continue, and now you can see here same. Okay, now again if I refresh, here also it will display the same thing. So whenever you want to display any common content in all your pages, then just create that particular file and just give some name of that particular file, and here just create two commands, block content open and then end block, and before that whatever you want to display just mention it, and after that whatever you want to display just mention it, and in between that whatever page information you want to display, you can display this. You can see here just you have to mention first how to extend that file, just you have to mention extends, and then file name.html, and then block content open, whatever the middle part, whatever the code you want to add, and there till the ending point, and after the end your code is completed, then mention end block. Okay, so this is the way you can display the common content in multiple pages. For example, background color should be same, menu should be same, footer should be same. So whatever the common things are there that you can use in this particular way. Is it clear? So let me write in the same thing in your documentation. The first step is you have to create a dot, whatever the your extend file is there, that is going to be extended, extend.html file. Next step, okay, is the extend the file in target HTML. Okay, extend. So here, how to do that part? Let me just copy paste the code. How you have to do it? So here, this I'm writing just okay block content. Okay, just here I'm writing extend.html file code. Okay, and next, okay, the target file, target HTML file. Let me copy this, and just you have to mention like this. Okay, is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Next part. Now we have to pass, we have to create one particular class, and that particular class information we have to display in our uh, front end part. Okay, so first let's create the class. So where I have to create the class? So here you can see we have the models.py file. So in this models.py file, we can create the classes. So let me just creating one class. Just assume there is a class is there, and here I'm giving some name as a course. And here what information I want to add? Just assume I want to add a course name, and it will be in the string format. Just assume, and I want to add some description of the course. So I'll write description, and I want this particular also in the string format. And just assume I'm mentioning the price, and I want to display this price into the integer format. Okay, this three information I want to display this. So now how to create the object of this particular class? So here you have to, again you have to go back to the views.py file, and where you want to display. Just assume I want to display in the uh, home area index.html. So here, first of all, I have to import the class. So how to import the class? First of all, you have to import the models.py file. So it is in the same folder. So I have to mention from dot model, and what you want to import, you have to import the models, right? So models, okay. And then you have to mention the import class names. What is the class name? Course is the class name. Okay, and after creating that particular class, now you have to create the object. So how to create the object, you already know. So I'm just creating something like C1 as a course. So here I'll write course. So it will create the object of. Same thing, I'll create the C2 equals to course. Okay, it will create the object. I'm going to create one more C3 equals to course. Again, it will create the third object. Now I want to add some information related to this particular objects. So here I'm just now manually adding that particular information. In the upcoming classes, we are going to add this information through the admin panel. So we'll create the admin panel, and it is going to be connected with the database, and from that we are going to display. As of now, we are just manually adding the information, and we are going to display this information, okay, in the front end part. So here what are the things are there? We have added the description, And just assume course one, I have to add the name also, right? So first I'll add the name. So name equals to, just assume I'm going to add C programming. Okay. And description, I'll write it is a basic basis of all programming. Okay. And here I'll write C1 dot price, and let me just add some price, something like 3000. Okay. And similarly, I'll create the C2, C3 also. So let me just copy paste. This is for C2 and this is for C3, and just let me just change it. C2, C2 and C2, C3 and C3. Okay. And here I'll change some names. Let me add something C++, and here I'm going to add something Python. Okay. And here I'll write best programming language for coder. Okay. And let me add the price something like 10,000. Okay. And here I'm going to add Python programming, and here I'll write like 15,000. Okay. So now here you can see multiple data is stored here, and now what I have to do, I have to, if I want to pass this particular data, I have to store all this particular uh, this information into one dictionary. Okay. So here we have already one dictionary is there, and I want to create all this data. So let me add some keys. Just assume there is a okay, I'll do one thing. I'll create one list, like I'll create courses, or else I can pass directly. Let me check it is work or not, or else I'll write manually here only. Okay, so here I'll write city, so sorry, C1, and here I'll write the value also. I'll write C1 only. Okay, and course 2, same thing. I'm going to go with the C2, and course 3, I'm going to go with the C3. Okay, so here I've created the same in the dictionary to access this particular information. Data is stored here. Okay, now I will check whether I can able to access this data or not. Okay, so let me just check somewhere. I'll create one more HR block. Okay, so just for dividing the content. Okay, and here I want to display one heading, courses, courses data. Okay, and now let me pass again one heading, and just I want to check I can able to access the data or not. C1 dot name. Okay, and let me save this, and let me refresh. Can I able to access this? Yes, I can able to access. You can see C program is accessing. Okay, again, if I want to add something like one more heading, just assume uh, C2 dot name, and let me check it is accessible. Yes, C++ programming. Like this, you can see here I can able to access all this particular information. Okay, now I'll give you one task on this. So I want to access all this information using the one command. So research it how to access all this information using the one command. And one more thing, I want this information in a table format. So research it and try to do this particular task. There is your homework. Got it, guys?